According to John Maxwell, everything rises and falls with in realization of the pivotal role of a strong and accountable leadership in sustaining legacies of the founding fathers and building all-round development. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria (PSN) elected pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh as president at its 94th annual national conference. Pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh became the 38th president of the PSN at the conference held between 1st and 6th November 2021 in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital. Without hesitation, Professor Cyril Usifoh swung into the action like the speed of light. Since then, there has been nothing short of inspirational leadership. Though Professor Usifoh, FPSN, emerged in a keenly contested election at the Port Harcourt Annual National Conference, he is leading the professional body with charity to all, in the words of former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. The pharmacy professor hits the ground running in strategic ways with a trail of spectacular records. A towering personality in the academic circle, you may call him, Professor Pharmacist Cyril Usifoh is leaving no one in doubt that he has come to make profound impacts in leading the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria (PSN) graciously. The special retreat for the National Executive Council (NEC) and other stakeholders, which was held on the 3rd of December of the same year, is an eloquent testimony to pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh's uncommon leadership. As a result of strides he has made in the Pharmaceutical Society within a short period and his personal attributes of excellence and impactful leadership, the federal government on 27th January 2022 incorporated pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, into the Presidential Healthcare Reform Committee, which was inaugurated by then Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Oluyemi Oluleke Osinbajo. By 10th February 2022, pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh was inaugurated as the President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria (PSN) at Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. In his characteristic manner of emphasizing urgency in executing worthwhile projects and programs, on the same day, an investiture ceremony for 120 newly elected fellows of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria was held in grand style at the Federal Capital Territory. As a leader who understands the importance of easy access to drugs and exhibiting real love, pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh joined His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kwara State, Mr. Kayode Alabi, on Valentine's Day, 14th February 2022, to commission the Oba Pharmacist Julius Ademola Ajibola Drug Information Center (DIC) at the General Hospital in Ilorin, Kwara State. This is a testament to his love for community service and benevolence to the grassroots people. In the words of Napoleon Bonaparte, the great people are always sought out in crucial times. This is the story of the PSN under the leadership of Professor Cyril Usifoh. Against this backdrop, when the Governing Council of PCN appointed Pharm Ibrahim Babashehu, FPSN, as the new registrar of PCN in Abuja on 7th April 2022, PSN played a major role in the appointment of the new registrar. The profound input of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria is appreciated and justified with the strides being made by the registrar. All things are bound together, all things connect, and mankind is one thread within it. In line with this, on 11th April 2022, Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, led the ACPN national executives to pay a courtesy visit to Dr. Faisal Shuaib, the Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, as a follow-up to the approval of community pharmacies as COVID-19 vaccination centers. And an approval was given to PSN and ACPN to set up a technical working group to facilitate guidelines for pharmacy to be recognized as primary healthcare centers where vaccination and other primary care services are available. Professor Cyril Usifoh, in collaboration with ACPN and National Primary Healthcare Development Agency (NPHCDA), on 31st May 2022, officially flagged off community pharmacies as COVID-19 vaccination centers in Nigeria. This was no mean feat. In his avowed belief in the supportive leadership model, on 27th July 2022, pharmacist Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, accompanied by eminent pharmacists with other healthcare practitioners group, supported the Hospital Headship Bill with a call for the introduction of hospital administrators as chief executives of hospitals at the National Assembly public hearing in Abuja. The efforts of the Professor Cyril Usifoh FPSN leadership are yielding the desired results in leaps and bounds as the then President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, on 16th August 2022, signed the Pharmacy Bill into law to become a Pharmacy Council of Nigeria Act 2022. Between 9th and 30th September 2022, the PSN and JOHESU were in the vanguard of promoting the emergence of the well-blended version of the Counterfeit Drug and Unwholesome Food Act amended bill that insisted on an autonomous status for an interagency collaboration of the PCN and NAFDAC with its own budget line for proper funding in a realistic bid to win the fight against fake and substandard drugs as well as unwholesome food substances in Nigeria. Professor Cyril Usifoh's leadership exploits and qualities shone forth at the 95th Annual National Conference of the PSN in Jos, Plateau State, between 31st October 2022 and 5th November 2022. Enigmatic, pragmatic and suave, Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, in line with the administration's idea of having a cost-effective management of operations at the National Secretariat of PSN, two 7.5 kVA and 5 kVA solar panels were installed at the National Secretariat in Lagos and Abuja office in January and February 2023, respectively. This effectively reduced the society's expenditures in the area of electricity bill payment and purchase of diesel. As Miles Monroe posits, learning and leading are inseparable. The PSN, led by the President, from Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, organized a two-day colloquium 2023 tagged Repositioning Pharmacy in an Unstable Economy between 4th and 5th February 2023 at the Amber Residence Hotel, Ikeja, GRA. As expected, captains of industries and representatives of technical and interest groups were able to discuss a new frontier for pharmacy practice. As a leader who will not subscribe to doing great exploits in half measures, in April 2023, the renowned scholar engineered a 3-day workshop. Attorney General Alliance Africa was in partnership with Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, to organize the symposium with the theme Combating the Menace of Substandard and Falsified Medical Products in Lagos, Nigeria. In his strides to make indelible marks, the President, Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, commissioned the Alpha Pharmacy Pharmaceutical Code Room in Lagos in May 2023. Decisive, impactful and visionary, in June of the same year, the President, Farm Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, also commissioned the newly built and remodeled pharmacy department at the Sheikh Mohammed Hospital, Kano, by the state chapter of NAIP in Kano, acting in accordance with the words of Isaac Newton, which say, "If one has seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Hence, in August 2023, the Presidential Mentorship Program, PMP, in line with Section 3, Subsection 5, Article 7 of PSN, was launched by the President for PSN YPG, with inauguration of the focus group in view at PSN Conference in Gombe 2023, through the uncommon leadership of the erudite scholar of pharmacy, Professor Pharmacist Cyril Usifoh. In September 2023, the implementation of the approved scheme of service for pharmacists consultant cadre in the Federal Civil Public Service. In recognition of efforts of the living legends of the society, the PSN President in October 2023 inaugurated the Centenary Committee 1927 to 2027 with pharmacist Olumide Akintayo, FPSN, a past president, as chairman, and pharmacists Azubike Okwo, FPSN, as secretary. The committee was charged with the responsibility of giving pharmacists a befitting 2027 centenary celebration with an ongoing world-class documentary. Only a visionary and servant leader would have commenced such a historic preparation very early and by putting the right peg in the right hole. Still firing from all sides of the cylinder, the PSN, under the leadership of Professor Pharmacist Cyril Usifoh, organized a one-in-town 96th Annual National Conference, which was held in Gombe State from 6th to 11th November 2023, where his servant leadership style pulled all the state actors, including the current governor and all the executive council, to the opening ceremony. As the law-abiding body, the Professor Cyril Usifoh-led Pharmaceutical Society on 10th November 2023 at the 2023 PSN Annual General Meeting mandated the PSN President-in-Nec to set up the Board of Trustees of PSN in line with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA. This singular act of the Professor Cyril Usifoh-led Pharmaceutical Society is to strengthen the professional body and compete globally. The 64th National Council on Health meeting, held at Ado-Ekiti from 16th to 17th November 2023, compelled all federal health institutions to adopt the implementation of DRF in the pharmacy department based on the advocacy of PSN. In the words of Sam Levinson, which say, "Don't watch the clock, do what it does, keep going." After consistent efforts, the federal government, with a series of advocacy calls by PSN team led by Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, in January 2024, restored funding for healthcare regulatory bodies, including Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. It was a bundle of joy in January 2024 when the federal government addressed the much-debated issues of Drug Revolving Fund, DRF, and the drive towards universal health coverage, along with FHI's indebtedness. In realization of the fact that the inputs of elders, College of Past Presidents and Avatars of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, the PSN President in April 2024 inaugurated Farm Jimmy Agbaje FPSN OON as the first Chairman of Board of Trustees BOT of PSN. Other members are Farm Azubike Okwo FPSN, Farm Olumide Akintayo FPSN, Farm Ahmed Yakase FPSN, Farm Sam Ohuabunwa OFR FPSN, Farm Mrs. Bob Manuel Elizabeth FPSN, Farm Mrs. Zainab Sharif FPSN, Farm Dr. N.A.E. Mohammed FPSN, and Farm Dr. Paul Enebeli FPSN. This BOT is the first since PSN was officially incorporated under CAMA in 1956. In June 2024, it was gleeful when the advocacy of PSN and other pharma stakeholders, led by PSN President Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, yielded the desired fruits, with President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, signing an executive order to increase local production of pharmaceuticals, diagnostics, and medical devices. The order introduces zero tariffs, excise duties, and VAT on specified machineries, equipment, and raw materials aimed at reducing production costs and enhancing local manufacturers' competitiveness. The joy of pharmacists knew no bounds in July 2024 as the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, led by the President, Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, finalized efforts to make the National Secretariat an internship center and was approved, the first set to resume in August 2024. Thus enhanced the meteoric rise of PSN under the leadership of an academic luminary. The rising profile of the academic pharmacist, Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, is reverberating across many fronts, redefining leadership and breaking forth as a shining epitome to emulate with many unprecedented landmark achievements. To say that the professor is the rave of the moment in the leadership of professional bodies is to state the obvious. There are copious examples that lend credence to the fact that the University of Benin scholar is a social engineer. To start with, the society was overwhelmed with excitement as a 2006 Sienna model of Toyota van was acquired to replace the old Toyota Avensis car as the utility vehicle for the National Secretariat in August 2024. Apparently, this is for identity and free movement for the members. As industry players do say, energy is the live wire of any meaningful commercial and industrial activity. In line with this axiom, the Society in August 2024 upgraded the installed two 7.5 kVA and 5 kVA solar panels at the National Secretariat in Lagos to 15 kVA lithium batteries alongside extra panels. Also, 10 units of energy-serving inverter AC have been installed in the offices to reduce the effect on power consumption. This has effectively cut down on the Society's financial burden in the area of electricity and diesel. Similarly, after a series of advocacy and courtesy visits led by the PSN President, Professor Cyril Usifoh, FPSN, and AHAPN Technical Group, the pharmacy and consultancy cadre was officially added to the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System IPPIS platform in August. As the Maslow theory of need model underscores the importance, in October 2024, the PSN acquired 2 luxury flats of 3 bedrooms and 2 bedroom at Surulere, Lagos, for the twin purposes of shoring up the asset base of the society and earning income from accrued rentals. Little wonder Professor Usifoh, Mr. Servant Leader as he's popularly called, decided to hand over a world-class digital PSN hall where hybrid meetings can take place and state-of-the-art presidential office to the incoming leader. Only a leader with tenacity of purpose will always consider how to bring smiles to the members and the institution he's leading. History will be kind to you for leaving a meritorious service to the profession you hold so dear. According to the popular saying that behind every successful man there is a superwoman, Professor Stella F. Usifoh, you have been a pillar of support to this servant leader. For your constant midnight prayers for the past 1,095 days, powering your darling husband to an unprecedented achievement as PSN President, we say a big thank you. Packed with wealth of experience, Professor Usifoh stands as an inspiration to all, demonstrating that with determination and hard work, transformational servant leadership is achievable in Nigeria. A guiding light, inspiring future generations and nurturing future leaders, undoubtedly, pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh is a reference point and a study in effective leadership, It is on record that the promise Professor Cyril Usifoh made on the 6th of November 2021 with pharmacists in Rivers State, he has kept and surpassed. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria celebrates the professor's landmarks. Nigeria admires the pharmacy scholar's inspiration, and the world stands still for an achiever, innovator, positive disruptor, aficionado, academic colossus, and leader of leaders. Congratulations to the Professor of Professors. Ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, men of honor, it is my singular honor to present a servant leader, a man who came, saw, and conquered, the #1 citizen of pharmacy in Nigeria, pharmacist Professor Cyril Usifoh, President of Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria.